As a bishop, I feel a great responsibility for missionary work in the ward. I hold the keys for missionary work in the ward, and I feel a great responsibility for finding people to teach and engaging our ward members in those efforts and engaging our ward council in those efforts. And so this last fall, I'd been given a lot of thought and prayer to how do we do this and how do we do this effectively. So at the time of our state conference last fall, on that Sunday morning, I had a very clear impression that what you need to do to engage the ward council is you need to extend a willing and brief invitation once a week for the next 4 weeks and ask each member of your ward council to do the same. And so I went to each member of the ward council one by one that afternoon and that evening and extended that invitation to them, and each one of them readily accepted and quickly accepted the invitation to do that.
Well, when Bishop Baldwin invited us to extend a willing and brief invitation once a week, I actually got really excited at first. As the ward mission leader, I felt it was my job to get the ward pumped up about it, so I was like, I'll do 2. I'm gonna get 2 this week, so we'll be good. And then Bishop said, no, don't overextend yourself. I just want to do 1 and just try to get for 1 and then keep being consistent every week. And I thought, well, I'll follow your lead. And so as long as you ask me to do it, I'll do it.
So my initial thoughts when the bishop met with us, I was very excited because I knew he was challenging our whole ward council to do this, so we were in it as a team or as a group, and so it wasn't just one person doing it by themselves, but as a whole ward council we were doing this together. So initially I was very excited, but then the more I thought about it, I knew that this was going to be a big challenge.
My initial feelings were, wow, that's going to be hard, and this is my bishop, and I support him, and I raise my hand to the square, and I'm his Relief Society president, and I'm going to do it.
So I was overwhelmed when the bishop asked me, and I prayed. I mean, I knew that if I was going to do this, I was going to need Heavenly Father's help because I couldn't do it on my own. It wasn't in my character. I didn't think I could do it on my own or do it at all, really. So I prayed, and then that following week, it's just about all I thought about all week.
The impact that the Willing and Brief had on the ward council from Bishop's invitation, I was really impressed with the ward council. They really stepped out of their comfort zone and they really went for it. You know, every week, we went around in a circle and everybody shared an experience about it. You know, there were a lot of no's, I'll give you the truth. But there were a lot of yeses too, and people were just having success and everybody was getting fired up about missionary work. You know, hastening the work was true in our ward for sure.
I think Bishop Baldwin's invitation to the ward council to make willing and brief invitations, it brought us together as a group in a common goal. We were sharing experiences during ward council about willing and brief invitations. We were sharing experiences in a group email throughout the week. There were times when I would get an email at work, somebody had, was excited because somebody had said yes, or somebody had made an invitation for the first time, and it would remind me of the goal, and it would remind me about people around me who I wanted to make invitations to.
The first time I tried this, I was very prayerful about it. I didn't really know who I wanted to share this with, but a lady came to mind, one of my mom's co-workers, and I was very nervous at first as to how to approach it, or if I need to call her or be in person, but I decided I was just going to call her. That was going to be the best way. And so nervously I got my phone and I called her and I said, "Hi Robin, this is Nicole. I've been really thinking about you a lot lately." She had just lost her mom a few months ago, and her nephew, who she's really close with, was killed in a car accident. And I said, "I've been thinking about you, and I just want to know if you'd be willing to listen to a brief presentation on how families can be eternal." And before I could even get it out, she says, "Yes, where do I go? Can I invite the rest of my family with me?" And it was a really good experience for me. Of course, she said yes, but I was very happy that the missionaries would be able to go over there and share that message with her family and give her family comfort, and that's what she needed at that time.
I just loved our ward council because we were following our bishop, and he was very progressive and very forward thinking, and he's wanting to follow his church leaders and what the Lord asked him to do, and it's been a great experience.
The blessings that we've seen is that our missionary work has really picked up. Our missionaries are teaching some wonderful families right now who are ready and prepared to receive the gospel, and that's what we've been praying for as a ward. That's what I've been praying for as a bishop, is that we can help find those who are ready and prepared to receive the gospel. And I think we've seen that blessing in our ward, and it's been tremendous, and it's been energizing in the ward. And it's wonderful to have members of the ward council engaged in this. As a bishop, I feel a responsibility for that. Not only how can I do this myself personally, but how can I help the members of the ward council be engaged as well. I think one of the great blessings of this willing and brief invitation is that it's just an easy tool. It's an easy tool to have that conversation. It's an easy tool to be able to extend that invitation. And I believe that as a ward and as a ward council, that we'll see great blessings come from opening our mouths. That this is a way that we can easily do that, and we just become more comfortable, and it becomes more natural. It becomes a more natural part of our conversations with people, so we aren't so afraid of opening our mouths and extending those invitations. And I think that'll be a great blessing that'll come from it.
Now is the time for members and missionaries to come together, to work together, to labor in the Lord's vineyard, to bring souls unto Him. He's prepared the means for us to share the gospel in a multitude of ways, and He will assist us in our labors if we will act in faith to fulfill His work.